Hello and welcome back. Looking at something called metabolic stress. So it's a strength type prescription, and it's a way of, well, actually being hypertrophy really is the main goal of that, so muscle growth. I'm just going to give I've got some other videos on the physiology and how it all happens internally, but this one's just more geared at how we actually prescribe this and what we're looking for in these programs. So what I've just tried to do is show some examples. The exercises are relevant but not, okay? So if you look there, I've listed 1A and 1B, meaning that they are actually lumped together as a superset. So I've got a leg press, which would be regarded as the heavier, more demanding exercise from that perspective, 10 reps at 80% of the 1 rep max. You'll notice there that there's actually 0 seconds rest, meaning that they basically hop off the leg press and as quick as they possibly can is transition straight into 20 reps of walking lunges with a dumbbell or a body weight, etc. They then have 45 seconds rest after those 2 exercises are done, and they would repeat that 4 times. It's exactly the same format as what I've put in for the bench press and push-ups. So what I've tried to put there is same movement pattern, same muscle groups. So you're pre-exhausting the muscles in the heavier exercise, being the bench press and leg press, and then you're doing some post-exhaustion stuff with the body weight exercise, trying to pump out as many reps as possible type scenario in that shorter period of time with no rest. The third block, 3A, 3B, 3C, would be more what's called like a superset or a giant set or mini circuit or something like that. So what I've done there is, again, a slightly different configuration. I've put in 4 sets just because it was easy on the eye, but what I've actually done there is made it time and AMRAP, as many reps as possible. Okay, the weights and the loading is, this is not a real person, so they don't really mean anything. But I've picked things like shoulder press, dips, and lateral raise, so that would be really targeting in on the shoulders. Obviously the purpose of metabolic stress is to really get a stress happening at the muscle so that the muscles will be screaming out for oxygen. But the fact that we're not allowing any rest in between these multiple exercises is going to keep them in oxygen debt. All of this metabolic waste products will be building up, including of lactic acid. And this is what's going to stimulate some hormonal muscle growth. So I've done there, right, do 60 seconds, do as many reps of the shoulder press as you can, then with no rest, go straight to dips. Do as many reps as you possibly can for 1 minute, and then again 1 minute of lateral raises. So your shoulders will be screaming out. So you get no rest in between the shoulder press and the dips, and no rest between the dips and the lateral raise, and then you would have 45 seconds rest before repeating that another 3 times around, so 3 exercises, 4 sets. The last example, which is what would be called a drop set. So I've used the tricep extension, so think about it on a cable stack. You have done you've got the rope and you're pulling the cable down, extending the elbow joint, getting a nice contraction on the muscles of the tricep. You do 10 reps at 20 kilos. Again, these weights are just neither here nor there, but without any rest, you go straight to doing another 10 reps at 15 kilos, so the load is lighter, and then another 10 reps at 10 kilos, and then another 10 reps at 5 kilos. So by the time you get to the 5 kilo load, it might seem like normally that's really light, but the fact that you've got so much metabolic product built up, you're going to be screaming out for a rest. So you'll see on the rest pattern, I've gone 0, 0, 45. So meaning that there's no rest in between the 10 and 15, no rest between the 15 and 10 kilos, no rest between the 10 and 5, and then there's a 45-second rest after all 40 reps are done of 1 set. And then you'd repeat that 3 times. That's what we're looking for in terms of programming. So showing that you've got a bit of adventure in the way that you program rather than just sort of stock standard straight sets that you might do in some heavy lifting. Metabolic stress is all about how you configure your workouts to program normal type exercises in a different way to have that metabolic stress nature. I hope that helps.